guys, this is Teacher Maya once again para sa isa na namang lesson sa grade 9 math, and this is solving quadratic equation by completing the square. So this is now the third method in solving quadratic equation. So bago tayo mag-proceed sa lesson na to, review natin ang square of binomials and perfect square trinomial. So, itong dalawang to ay naging lesson na ninyo nung kayo ay grade 8. So, itong dalawang to ay gagamitin natin sa completing the square. Okay? So, square of binomials. So, when we say square of binomial, meron tayong binomial na naka-raise sa second power. So, example is x plus y. Then, another example is x minus 7 raised to 2. Another is square of x plus 11. Another one is 4y minus 5. Okay, then this is raised to the second power. So, ano ang relation nitong mga ito sa perfect square trinomial? So, tignan natin. So, kapag in-expand natin to, or kinuha natin yung product ng square of x plus y, then the product will be x squared plus 2xy plus y squared. So, paano nangyari ito? Paano nakuha? So, to get this, just multiply the first term of the binomial by itself. So, that is x squared. Then multiply the terms of the binomial and then multiply the product by 2. So that is 2xy. Then multiply the last term of the binomial by itself. So that's y squared. Okay? So ito pwede nyong gawing guide. So always the middle term is the product of twice the product of x and y. Okay, so let's have sample number 2. Square of x minus 7. So square of the first term, x squared, sign minus x times 7 is 7x, multiply it by 2. So that's 14x. And then negative 7 times negative 7 is positive 49. Okay? Susundan. Then, third, square of x plus 11. Square of x is x squared. X times 11. 11x times 2 is positive 22x. Then, for the last term, we have 11 by 11 is positive 121. Okay, the next or the last square of binomial, we have 4y minus 5. So, square of 4y is 16y squared. Then, minus, so 4 times 5 is 20. No? 4y minus, or multiplied by negative 5 is negative 20. And then, multiply it by 2. So, it's negative 40y. Then, for the last term, negative 5 times negative 5 is positive 25. Okay. So, these are now the product of this square of binomials. So, the product of the square of binomials are perfect square trinomials. So, meaning, if you are going to get the factors of this, you will have a square of binomial. Naintindihan ba? So, that is the relationship between square of binomials and perfect square trinomials. Okay. Okay, so ngayon let us proceed to our topic, which is solving quadratic equation by completing the square. So remember, not all quadratic equations can be solved by extracting the square root nor by factoring. So let us now try solving quadratic equation by completing the square. So first example is x squared minus 4x minus 7 equals 0. So, pwede ba natin isolve to by factoring? So, let's try. Diba, in factoring, we are getting the factors of the last term whose sum is the middle term. So, the last term is negative 7. What are the factors of negative 7? We have negative 7 and 1. And another is 7 and negative 1. Now, if we are going to add this, the sum of negative 7 and 1 is negative 6. And then here, if we are going to add 7 and negative 1, the answer is positive 6, which are not equal to negative 4. So, ibig sabihin, hindi natin pwedeng isolve ang equation na to by factoring. Okay, and syempre hindi rin siya pwede by extracting the square root because it is not in the form x squared equals k. So, ngayon, let us solve this by completing the square. So, ang unang gagawin is rewrite the equation such that all the variables are in the left side of the equation and the constant term is in the right side. So, ito lang, ililipat natin sa right side of the equation. So, from negative, magiging positive 7 na siya ngayon. And then, the left side of the equation will be x squared minus 4x. Okay. So, pag wala ng constant sa left, nasa right na ang constant, then, ang gagawin na is, get the coefficient of x. And the coefficient of x here is negative 4. So, kunin natin ang coefficient ng x, which is 4. Then, let us multiply this by 1/2. And then, kung ano man yung magiging sagot, ay i-square natin. So, ano ba ang half of negative 4? That is negative 2. Then, the square of negative 2 is positive 4. So, ito ngayon ay i-add natin sa dalawang sides ng equation para yung left side will be perfect square trinomial. So, i-add natin on both sides of the equation. So, we have now x squared minus 4x plus 4 equal to 7 plus 4. So, 7 plus 4 is 11. And then, perfect square trinomial na to. So, let us express this as square of binomial. So, just get the square root of the first term, x squared. Square root of it is x, follow the sign of the middle term, and then square root of the last term, which is 2. Okay. So, after expressing this as a square of binomial, ang gagawin na is extract the square root on both sides of the equation. So, square equal to positive negative square root of 11. Okay. So, since ang 11 ay hindi perfect square, so you may write the same expression. So, that is square root of 11. Or, you may get the square root of 11 by using a calculator. No? Okay. Pero dito sa atin, we will just copy it. And then, we have square root of the square of x minus 2 is x minus 2. Then, solve for x. So, x is equal to transpose natin si 2 to the right side of the equation. So, magiging positive 2 plus or minus square root of 11. Ngayon, kapag kukunin nyo lang is the positive value of x. So, x positive is equal now to 2 plus square root of 11. Okay? And then the second value of x is 2 minus square root of 11. Okay, so these two now are the solutions of the equation 4 or x squared minus 4x minus 7 equal to 0. Okay? So, again, itong equation na to cannot be solved by factoring. So, na-solve natin using completing the square. Okay. So, let us have another example. Okay. So, let's move sa ating second example. We have x squared plus 8x plus 7 equal to 0. So, first step again is transpose the constant term to the right side of the equation. So, ito ililipat natin sa right. So, from positive, 7 will now become negative. Okay, so we have negative 7. Then, the left side of the equation is x squared plus 8x. Okay, so pag ganyan na siya, kunin ulit ang hati or half ng 8. So, ang half ng 8 is what? Half of 8 is 4. Then, square 4. Answer is 16. So, ngayon, we are going to add 16 on both sides of the equation so that the left side of the equation will become a perfect square trinomial. So, we have now x squared plus 8x plus 16 equal to negative 7 plus 16. So, perfect square trinomial na to. So, we now express this as square of binomial. So, the square root of x squared is x, sign of the middle term is positive, and then square root of 16 is 4. And then, we have negative 7 plus 16. And, ano ang answer dito? We have positive 9. Okay. So, ngayon, after that, extract now the square root on both sides of the equation. Then, equal to positive, negative, square root of 9. So, the square root of 9 is 3. So, positive, negative, 3. Then, we have, syempre, square root of the square of x plus 4 is x plus 4. So, pag ililipat natin yung 4 sa right side, magiging negative 4. Then, plus, minus 3. Okay. Ngayon, let's solve for x. Positive. We have now negative 4 plus 3. Answer is what? Answer is negative 1. And then, x negative is negative 4 minus 3. The answer is negative 7. So, the solutions of the equation x squared plus 8x plus 7 equals 0 is x is equal to negative 1 and negative 7. Okay ba? Okay. So, one more example. Okay. So, in our third example, the leading coefficient is 4. So, before we solve this equation, by completing the square, syempre, ang gawin muna natin is divide all the terms by the leading coefficient. So dito, the leading coefficient nga is 4. So divide all the terms by 4. Okay, so syempre, if we are going to divide 0 by 4, the answer is 0. Then dito sa left, divide each term by 4. So 4x squared divided by 4 is x squared. Then, negative 12x divided by 4 is negative 3x. And then, 4 or negative 4 divided by 4 is negative 1. Okay. So, ngayon, nasa standard form na siya. Rewrite natin to by transposing this constant term to the right side of the equation. So, from negative 1 now will become positive. Okay, so the left side of the equation now will be x squared minus 3x. Then, get the half of the coefficient of x. So, that is negative 3. I-multiply natin to by 1/2. Then, square natin yung sagot. So, times negative 3 times 1 is negative 3, then over 2. Then, square natin yan. So, this is 9 over 4. So, itong 9 over 4, i-add natin sa left and sa right side of the equation. Okay? So, we have now x squared minus 3x, then plus 9 over 4. Then, dito naman sa right, we have 1 plus 9 over 4. Okay. So, ito ngayon is a perfect square trinomial. So, express this as square of binomial. So, square root of x squared is x, sine of the middle term, minus square root of 9 over 4 is 3 over 2. Then, dito naman, find the LCD. So, 4 divided by, the denominator of 1 is 1. 4 divided by 1 is 4 multiplied by 1. So, it's 4. And then, plus 4 divided by 4 is 1 multiplied by 9 is 9. Okay. So, ngayon, 4 plus 9 is 13 over 4. Then, extract now the square root. So, x minus 3 over 2 squared. Then, positive, negative, square root of 13 over 4. So, dito, mawawala lang yon kasi may square root tayo doon. So, x minus 3 over 2. Then, sa right, 13, hindi siya perfect squared, but 4 is a perfect square. So, pwede natin kunin ngayon ang square root ng 4. And that is 2. Then, ang numerator is square root of 13. Okay. Solve for x. So, ito ilipat lang natin doon. So, we have now x is equal to positive 3 over 2 plus or minus square root of 13 over 2. So, for the solution of the equation 4x squared minus 12x minus 4 equals 0 are x. First one, let us use positive. So, that's 3. Okay, wait. Okay, ngayon, so, simplify na lang natin to. So, since the denominators are the same, we have now x is equal to 3 plus or minus square root of 13 over 2. And kung kunin natin positive, so x positive is equal to 3 plus square root of 13 and over 2. And the second one is 3 minus square root of 13 over 2. Okay, so these are now the solutions of the given equation. Okay? So, ngayon, another example. No? Yung madali na lang. Okay.
Okay, so ngayon, for our last example, we have the equation x squared minus 5x equals 24. So, yung constant natin dito ay nasa right na. So, wala na tayong ito transpose. Ang gagawin niya na lang is get the half of the coefficient of x, which is negative 5. Okay, then, syempre, square the answer. So, dito, multiply negative 5 by 1. So, that is negative 5 over 2. Then, square nyo ito. So, the square of negative 5 is 25 over square of 2 is 4. Then, you add 25 over 4 on both sides of the equation. So, we have x squared minus 5x, then, plus 25 over 4. Then, equal to 24 plus 25 over 4. So, dito, we have now a perfect square trinomial. So, express this as square of binomial. So, we have the binomial x minus 5 over 2. So, ito is square root nun, sign, then square root ng last term. Then, we have LCD is 4. 4 divided by 1 multiplied by 24 is 96. Then, plus 4 divided by 4 is 1 multiplied by 25. 25. Okay? So, ngayon, copy this. We have x minus 5 over 2 squared. Then, 96 plus 25 is 121 over 4. Okay, ngayon, extract now the square root on both sides of the equation. Okay, and then we have positive, negative, square root of 121 over 4. Okay, so the square root of the square of x minus 5 over 2 is x minus 5 over 2. Then we have positive, negative, square root of 121 is 11 over square root of 4 is 2. So, to solve for x, we have now x equal to, ilipat natin dito sa right si negative 5 over 2. So, magiging positive 5 over 2. Then, positive, negative, or plus or minus 11 over 2. Okay, so this is x is equal to 5 plus or minus 11 over 2 since the denominators are the same. So, let us now solve for x positive. This is 5 plus 11 over 2. 5 plus 11 is equal to 16. Divide 16 by 2. So, the answer here is, 8. And then, if it is negative, we have 5 minus 11 over 2. So, this is negative 6 over 2. Or, this is negative 3. So, the values of x now are 8 and negative 3. Okay. Maliwanag ba? So, sana ay makatulong itong mga lessons natin ngayon sa magiging lesson nyo sa school.